Well, I've long found that one of the best things about working from home is the ability to make a nice lunch. So I'm going to run through what started off as a leftover roast chicken noodle salad thing with a kind of Asian dressing, except I've got no chicken today, so it's going to be a non-chicken noodle salad with an Asian style dressing. So let's see what we put in it. Now I know this looks like an absolute ton of stuff, but bear with me. So one of the things about this is it's a peanut based sauce, so it's kind of satay-ish. So you can use, crunchy, or you can use smooth. Take your pick. I'm going to use smooth simply because it's not so hard to get the lumps out. Fish sauce, whether you like it or not, needs like a tablespoon of that or less. Tamari, I'm using that instead of soy sauce just because I find it's a bit lighter, not so heavy. I could have used, well, I would absolutely say do not use that. It's just too much. So we'll put that to one side. Maple syrup, I don't know why, but that was what was in the recipe. I guess you could use honey instead. I like chucking in some mirin because I think it's quite good. I prefer to use sesame oil for this rather than other oils, except you got to be pretty gentle with it because it can be pretty overpowering. As an option, you can throw in a bit of this as well, or you can throw in some chili, or if you don't like chili, you don't have to throw it in at all. But that makes an interesting addition as well. And of course, some lime juice. And what I discovered when I was going through the fridge is there are actually 2 halves of limes for some very annoying reason. The other thing we need to have in there is some ginger. I'm going to chuck in about that much. And how much garlic should we throw in? Well, anywhere from, I guess, 1 clove to, a whole thing, depending on how much you like garlic. Now, as far as the noodles go, what I'm going to be using are Singapore noodles. And these things come in, well, it's a 2-pack, which is really good. I'll just use one of them. I've never used these, and I don't think I ever will. I might chuck some of these on top, just for a bit of extra crunch. I haven't tried that yet, but I'll give that a go. I wouldn't use these. These are rice noodles. Don't know about that. On top, fried onion. Never tried it, but what the heck, might give it a go. Now, in terms of what we're actually going to put in the salad, some grated carrot. I actually found a little stick of that in the fridge, and the dogs are eyeing this off very hungrily. They really want that. Handful of snow peas. Green onions, shallots, whatever you want to call them. I'll chuck a few of them in. Bit of chopped up celery, probably 1 stick would be enough. And then for different colour, there's going to be some green cabbage. It's not Chinese cabbage, it's just normal cabbage. But I like to use purple cabbage as well. Not that it tastes any different, just adds a nice colour. Here's a tip. Always put in the peanut stuff first. Then you don't get soy sauce and the peanut butter afterwards. Right, how much of this shall we do? Yeah, you can see as I do this, I'm pretty haphazard about it. Essentially, I've just got my measuring spoon and I do 1 of this and 2 of that, and that's about it. And really, you just need to work out what mixture works for you. One thing I did discover is I should have put in at least twice the amount of peanut butter, maybe even 3 times the amount. The original recipe I had called for 1/4 cup, I think, and it's probably about right. Too much fish sauce, I should have measured that. A teaspoon at most, I think. It really did overpower it. And I should have done double the lime juice. I only did half a lime, I should have done a full lime. But, there you go, you work this out as you go along. It's often easy to mix that with a fork. That's my tip. Spring onions, chopped mint, and chopped up snow peas. Right, drained noodles. Obviously carrot, purple cabbage, green cabbage, celery. And I've done more purple cabbage than green because there's already quite a bit of green in there. I just want the colour balance. Yeah, aesthetics are important. Let's mix that up. Now, when you try the dressing, if you try the dressing right at the start, it'll really blow your head off, like it's really strong. And you might think there's also a lot of dressing there, but by the time you chuck the noodles in and all the cabbage and stuff, the dressing really does get absorbed in there. And, you know, you've got to remember the noodles are bland as can be. You know, they're just like eating foam tubing. You need quite a bit of dressing on there to really give the noodles a bit of get up and go. So, I don't know, does that look horribly unappetizing or not? Lots of colour and stuff. Now, because I've got no chook, I was thinking about, should I use one of these? No, I'm not going to bother. In the end, am I going to chuck this on? I might sprinkle some on just to try what it's like. And those, nah. Anyway, there you have it. Some kind of Asian thing which took me, what, about 10-15 minutes to whip up. Lunch from home. Now, one thing about this dressing is I've never made it the same way twice. I've managed to get the what do you call it, the ingredients and the mixtures, or the, what do you call them, the measurements, different every single time. So every time I've made it, it tastes a little bit different. But one thing about this is it's quite a robust dish. You know, it's full of cabbage and stuff. It's not full of wimpy green things. So it'll keep quite well. It'll stay in the fridge all right, you know, till the next day, unless you put anything really delicate in it. And how's this one taste? Yeah, it's pretty good. If you like all those kind of strong Asian flavours and all the rest of it, it's really good. If you don't, it'd be an absolute shocker. But anyway, I think it's a pretty good lunch.